Prabhuji. So Hare Krishna. So I would like to welcome all the devotees and His Grace Sarvatma Prabhuji for our today's Nityanand Sabha meet. So first I will give introduction of Prabhuji and then I will hand over to Prabhuji. Okay. So about Prabhuji, first, I will mention about Prabhuji's devotional aspects, the services which Prabhuji has rendered. So, Prabhuji came in our Krishna consciousness in 1995. He is the alumni of our Mayapur Boys, and he got married in 2004. Prabhuji has one daughter named as Kalindi. So, Prabhuji received his first initiation in December 2007 by His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj and received his second initiation in March 2013. Prabhuji is a congregation counselor at our Iskcon University Temple and NS counselor at Vrajadham Boys, that is VIT College. So Prabhuji is a study in charge at that Vrajadham Boys, and Prabhuji has rendered various services in children preaching, then teenage boys preaching. Also, Prabhuji is rendering the services in the temple as a pujari, also serving in the DT department. Near temple only Prabhuji stays at Barsana. Also, in many festivals, you might have seen Prabhuji in the temple rendering various services. So, various courses Prabhuji has completed. The first one is about Bhakti Shastri course in 2013. Then VTE, Teachers Training Course, TTC 1, which we call it. In year 2008, Prabhuji completed Iskcon Disciple course in 2015, and he completed his Bhakti Shastri Teachers Training course of Mayapur Institute in December 2017. Which is actively involved in the management of the temple, and he is a member of DT Council Committee and member of Community Kitchen Committee of Iskcon Temple. So about Prabhuji's professional life. So Prabhuji has completed his PhD in mechanical engineering, working as assistant professor in mechanical engineering department at Vishwakarma Institute of Technology, Pune. Also completed his BE Mechanical from Bharati Vidyapeeth College of Engineering under Pune University in 1998 with distinction. Prabhuji completed his Yummy from VIT College in 2003 with first class. Prabhuji completed his PhD in Mechanical Engineering from CUEP College under Savitribai Phule Pune University in the field of solar drying in July 2023. So Prabhuji has total 25 years of teaching experience. He is a faculty advisor of Society of Automotive Engineers at VIT since year 2006. Under his leadership, SAE chapter of VIT is very vibrant and dynamic. Under his able guidance, SAE students teams of VIT has won many awards at various competitions at national and international levels. As a faculty advisor, along with two students, Prabhuji has visited Dallas, USA for SAE Aero Design Competition 2011, which was organized by NASA and Lockheed Martin and won 3 awards. Also in June 2016, Prabhuji presented as a faculty advisor for SAE Baja International at Rostow Institute of Technology, New York, USA. Prabhuji has received 2 times Well Appraised Teacher Award from Management of VIT and 2 times Significant Contribution Award at institute level. Prabhuji has received Australian patent along with the students in the month of March 2021. Also on 30 July 2021, he and group of students received grant of Indian patent from Government of India. Prabhuji has many publications at national and international conferences and journals. So it's our good fortune that today Prabhuji is there with us on the auspicious day of Ekadashi. So I would like to welcome Prabhuji by 3 times loudly chanting Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Also, I request all the devotees to, if it is possible for them, to switch on their videos so that the session will become more and more interactive. Thank you. Prabhuji, you can just guide us, guide all of us.
Hare Krishna, Sachin Prabhu. Am I audible?
Yes,
Yes, you are audible.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much for your introduction and for this opportunity to interact with all our NS boys and other devotees across the India. So we'll just do 2 minutes kirtan and then we shall begin the session. नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी के नामे। नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी के नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. Any one of you can unmute and follow. I will be able to.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna.
Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare, Hare
Hare Rama,
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Radha Vrindavan Chandra, Radha Vrindavan Chandra, Radha Vrindavan Chandra Radhe.
Radha Vrindavan Chandra, Radha Vrindavan Chandra, Radha Vrindavan Chandra Radhe.
Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath, Jai Baladev, Jai Subhadra.
Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Baladeva, Jaya Subhadra.
Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Gauranitai.
Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Gauranitai.
Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Jaya Srila Prabhupada.
Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Srila Prabhupada.
Jai Gurudev, Jai Gurudev, Jai Gurudev, Jaya Srila Gurudev.
Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Srila Gurudev.
चरणाम संकीर्तन की, श्रील प्रभुपाद की
Jaya.
ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवाञ्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सगन रघुनाथान्वितं तं स्वजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपदान् सगन ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितां च नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी इति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम पदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामिने गौरत्से नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा। Am I audible?
Yes, Puja.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Thank you. So I welcome all of you for this session, where the title of this session is Importance of Scriptural Touch in Grihastha Life. So as this topic is very, very important in the sense, as we say, one of the four pillars of Iskcon, and one pillar is books are the basis. As we know, utility is the principle, preaching is the essence, and books are the basis. And this base or the foundation, how it is important, especially in our Grihastha life. So that we are going to discuss today, or I'm going to present something, few points which I have studied and based on my understanding here. So basically, the very first question which comes to our mind, that why do we need to read Srila Prabhupada's book or his shlokas or translation or the purports of the Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, wherever he has mentioned? Why do we read? Any comments? Is it all are muted, or I can interact also? Sachin Prabhu, any idea, or is there any technical difficulty?
Yes, yes, bro.
Oh, Sachin Prabhu is there.
They can unmute, Prabhuji.
Okay, fine. That's nice. So, couple of responses, so that I don't want it should go in monotonous way. You can also join when I interact with you. So, why do we read Srila Prabhupada's books and its purpose?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah, Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, because it is very important. Uh, the tendency of Jiva is to forget. We listen here, there, lecture, but we forget. That's why it is very important to regularly read Prabhupada books. We need baseline.
Very good, very good. Thank you, Sachin Prabhu. Yeah, to be constant in devotional service. Achyut Anantananda Prabhu.
To
Yes, Prabhu.
understand, to understand the mood and mission of Srila Prabhupada.
Yes, Shobit Prabhu. Mood and mission of Srila Prabhupada. Thank you. So basically, when we read Srila Prabhupada's books, it gives a tangible faith that we are at right place. We are in the right organization. The path which I am following, we get faith on that path. We get faith in the philosophy. We become more determined. We become more desperate. We develop genuine attraction. Our chanting improves. We develop maturity. See, almost around 10 to 12 points I just said. And there are so many points which I'm confident that each one of you have your mind, and if you introspect, you're able to share definitely. But you agree with these points, what I said? The very first thing is gives the faith that yes, I am at the right place, because there are so many organizations, spiritual organizations, which are running parallelly, and we have so many options in the market, correct? But still, it gives us the faith on the path, that always many times we say our process is perfect. Okay, sometimes in our Iskcon, or sometimes as far as our systems are considered, we may not be like up to the peak, up to the mark. Okay, but our process is very perfect. That for that we are very confident. Our philosophy is very perfect. Okay, and when we read Srila Prabhupada books, it develops the confidence in us. We become determined. And slowly, slowly, we develop the attraction for the devotional service, as somebody said. Rather, many times it happens when new boy come, or rather, we can introspect ourselves also. When we come first time to Iskcon, we directly came because of some devotee, and we started coming to the temple. We saw the deities, we took Charnamrut, we chanted the holy name of the Lord, we did Japa, we did Harinam Sankirtan, we do Tulsi Pradakshina. Okay, we offered Tulsi to the deity, we offer flower to the deity. So many aspects of devotional service, like in Nectar of Devotion, Rup Goswami Path, he mentioned there are 64 ways. Okay, and out of that, like most of them already we are doing as soon as we join or we come to the temple. And later, when we read the books, then it gives a confirmation. Already I am doing this, like that. So Prabhupada has made such a wonderful arrangement that about the theory, what we learn in the book, as well as he has put a laboratory, that is the temple. So theory, what we learn in a pravachan, in kirtan, in katha, and temple is like a laboratory where you can actually reconfirm all these things. So we say that triangle always, na? Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. Correct? So any doubt whenever we get, you can immediately refer to the Srila Prabhupada books because he is our authority. So one more thing, a very important, that Charma Chakshu and Shastra Chakshu. Right now, what I am observing through this screen towards all of you is through Charma Chakshu. Correct? Now, when the Shastra Chakshu comes, when we get knowledge, when we get realization, Jnana Vidyana, when we get Sakshatka realization, we see the things in a different way in our life. Our perception changes in our life. Correct? And perception changes only when we empower ourselves with the knowledge. I'll give a simple example. Once, one man was traveling in a train, and just opposite to his berth, one man was sitting, and he was having uh, two kids with him. And these two kids were doing a lot of mauj masti. They were just climbing on that berth, coming down, jumping, again climbing, jumping, like that. So this other man who was sitting, he got fed up with that. So he said to this man, why don't you take care of the children? Okay, they are shouting, they are making so much noise. I'm getting irritated. वो एकदम fed up हो गया हुआ दूसरा आदमी. Okay. Then this man, the father of the two children, he said, yes, I am also thinking the same actually, because yesterday only their mother has passed. Now I am thinking, how will I able to take care of these two kids now? Now, as soon as this man said this to this other person's perception immediately had changed. It has created a karuna in his heart. Oh my God, these two kids, they lost their mother. So as soon as he got that knowledge, his perception to see these things, now the children are making noise, still he is not feeling that as a noise because his perception had changed, like that. So that's what we are going to learn today, that how we have to change our perception by gaining the knowledge from the Prabhupada books and deal with the different situations in our day-to-day Grihastha life. So actually, this Shastra Chakshu, therefore, very, very important, and it develops the maturity. It develops the maturity within us. So any problem which is coming, we should start seeing through this Shastra Chakshu. Okay. Like once during Prabhupada's time, also many devotees were leaving the organization, and other devotees, they got like confused, bewildered, and they went and told Prabhupada, this devotee has left, that devotee has left, some devotees are leaving from this place and all that. Prabhupada said, don't feel astonished or surprised that how many have left. Please feel surprised or astonished how many are staying back. Prabhupada said. So sometimes we see that, okay, this devotee is not chanting, this devotee has left the movement. Okay, but we have to also think that if I read the Srila Prabhupada's book, then I will surely stay in this Prabhupada called Iskcon as a body, his own body, like that. So this reading aspect is very, very important and should be the part and parcel of our life. Rather, my dear devotees, now many devotees are thinking, they have proposed to the GBC that we can inculcate this reading as a part of morning program. Correct? So if we see our morning program in temple, what are the different aspects we have as a morning program? We have Mangal Arti. After that, we have Narsingh Arti. We have Tulsi Arti. Then we have 10 offenses. Then we have Sishtastakam. Then Vancha Kalpadurubhasya. Then we do 2 hour japa. After that, we have Shingar Darshan. Then Guru Puja. Then Shrimad Bhagavatam. Am I right? Like that. And of course, then Prasad. Very important part. So this is a morning program. So in this morning program, can we have some 20-minute slot every day as a reading of Srila Prabhupada books in a temple itself? So GBC and other, they are thinking in that way. You'll be surprised to know, as I will mention, when couple of years back, one ILS meeting happened at Mayapur. ILS means Iskcon Leadership Sangha, like that. Okay. Where all big leaders came, around 150 leaders were there across the globe. And their training program was there. And question was asked, how many of you read Srila Prabhupada books, or all books? How many of you read all books of Srila Prabhupada? You know, the figure was very surprising. Around 28 to 30, or maybe 32, they have raised their hand that we have read all the Srila Prabhupada books. Others have not read fully. Of course, that doesn't mean, okay, that they are lacking somewhere or like that. But the generation, what they are, for when they were there serving Srila Prabhupada, the priority was expansion of the temple and other services. Okay. But my dear devotees, for devotees like us, our generation and the next generation legacy, what we are going to create. Okay. If you don't create a right legacy by emphasizing on the reading of Srila Prabhupada books, then we may get deviated very soon. That's for sure. Yeah. So then if you say personally to me, then I'm able to practice the Srila Prabhupada's, or I'm able to practice this process or Bhakti Marga, the credit goes to Srila Prabhupada only. Okay. That we remember what first book we read, we remember what first book our one devotee has gifted to us, or one devotee has given it to us. Okay. So I'm going to speak at the end which book, okay, I got first and read and all that. So we know that what are the readings benefit of Srila Prabhupada books, because there is a clarity in the Srila Prabhupada books. Okay. Books gives us the Shastra Chakshu, as we understood. Okay. And any book you can take of Srila Prabhupada, you will see it has like a wonderful picture in it. Okay. It has very wonderful picture. You can take a picture like Bhagavad Gita as it is, or you can take this Laws of Nature. Okay. Or you can take the book Coming Back. Okay. Any book you take, very wonderful picture. It's very attractive. So person get attracted, okay, to this picture, and person is tempted to buy this book of Srila Prabhupada. Okay. Now, even if you read Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, NOD, NOI, okay, we understand actually very easily all those books, because Prabhupada has read the books where the common man also can understand. That's the beauty of Srila Prabhupada's writing. The common man also understand that the simplicity of the English language. Okay. Because if you see in the Bhagavatam, okay, uh, whenever I'll just show. Whenever we say about the Bhagavatam, and if you see the pictures over here of the Bhagavatam, the more than philosophy, Srila Prabhupada tells about the like characters of Srimad Bhagavatam in a deeper, okay, and what exactly the activities, what they have rendered, because whole Bhagavatam is about Lord Krishna and the devotee, okay, but very important, he highlights in the purport at many points what are the response by the devotee, what is the response of the devotees of the Lord, that he highlights and elaborate pages after pages, pages after pages, and that really brings or gives the maturity to us. Like few example, like Chitraketu, he was cursed by Mother Parvati, but how the Chitraketu he responded to the curse of Parvati, that's amazing. If you read this Srimad Bhagavatam, okay, that to the climax actually, where Mother Parvati, she got surprised. I cursed this Chitraketu, and Chitraketu folded his hand and happily accepted that curse. Okay. And he did not retaliate. Chitraketu was having equally power to retaliate, but he did not retaliate. Okay. He said, okay, I am okay in the Swarga, Narkaloka, wherever it may be. I am okay there. And he just kept quiet. And when this scene is going, then Lord Shiva understood what is the nature of the devotee. And then there is a dialogue between Lord Shiva and Mother Parvati. And Lord Shiva glorifies the devotional service and the devotees like that. So this is the beauty of the devotee. How to deal with the extreme, okay, most provoking situations. And Prabhupada writes beautiful purport like that. Prabhupada said in the purport that who gave the curse? Actually, curse was given by Mother Parvati. But who tempted in the heart of Mother Parvati? There is a Paramatma who is sitting, Super Soul is sitting. So Super Soul is only giving the intelligence to Mother Parvati. So question remains, okay, whether Mother Parvati has cursed Chitraketu or Lord himself through Mother Parvati has Chitraketu. Correct, na? And it's very interesting when we read the purport of Srila Prabhupada, he goes on revealing exactly what's the dynamic of this relationship between Lord and his devotee. And that really, what we can say, the increases our curiosity to go ahead and ahead. Like previously, before coming to Krishna consciousness, we used to watch some serials on the television, correct, na? So serial, what they used to have, they used to end the serial at such a climax scene that we used to feel tempted to again watch the next day that scene, or maybe after a week. Am I right? Like that. Another example could be how Parikshit responded to the curse of this Shringi, okay, son of Shaunak Rishi. Parikshit Maharaj, he was again equally powerful to counter curse. But did he? No, he did not retaliate. He accepted that curse, that he is going to die in 7 days. He straightway went to the bank and sat in front of Sukdev Goswami, asked the questions, and whole Bhagavatam he heard, and he went back home, back to God. So say the situations are coming. Bhagavatam sometimes, yes, we think the Bhagavatam talks about very ideal and all that. Yes, but ideal is required in this today's world. And then only some part of that, fraction of that, we will able to follow. You can see how the Pandavas have responded in various calamities. Okay. Although Lord Krishna was there, but their free will was there with them. And how they have used their free will at every situation, that really is very, very important. Tesham satatayuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yoga. Dadami buddhi. I give understanding by which, okay, you come to me. Now that understanding, when Krishna says dadami buddhi, Prabhupada translate that word buddhi as understanding. So that understanding to discriminate what is right and wrong, from where it comes to the devotee, it comes from the Srila Prabhupada's book. Okay, many times we take certain decision in our life, okay, and after a few years we come to know, oh, I should have not acted like that, I should have taken this decision, and we blame the Lord. Oh Lord, why you did not give me that right intelligence at that time? This question will come to each one of your mind. It is an injustice to me, it has happened like that. Okay, but Lord also says that Tesham Satadhyuktama, did you remember him always, all the time, 24 by serving him, by full surrender, like that? If you do that, then surely he will give you to right intelligence to discriminate what is right and wrong, and every decision in your life will go correct, by which will come closer to Krishna. Even if you see in the pastime of Bhishmadev, how he responded, the Bali Maharaj and pastime of Vaman Dev, Bali Maharaj, when he told Lord that, okay, you put third step on my head, it has really, he has conquered the heart of the Lord, Vamandev. Okay. And Lord also like gave in response the position as a personal servant in the to his another planet. Dhruva Maharaj, you can see how he responded. Okay. Then our, can you give some examples from the Bhagavatam? How the devotees have responded in the critical stages. Hare Krishna, am I audible?
Guruji, Prahlad Maharaj, when Lord Nrsimhadev asked for the benediction, he asked, don't ask for benediction, I'm son of a demon.
Yes, Prahlad Maharaj, very nice. Prithu Maharaj, very good. Prithu Maharaj also, when the climax is there, okay, Lord is coming. Okay, Prithu Maharaj was about to make 100 Ashwamedh Yajna. Demigods came and they said, Brahmaji came and they said, no need actually. He stopped, he heard the side of, he cooperated with the plan of demigods, and he said, okay, 99 is okay. Because Indra was coming and, okay, again and again disturbing. Okay. But finally, although he completed 99, but Lord personally came at the arena of that Yajna and Prithu Maharaj in front of him. You see the picture in the Bhagavatam, correct? Like that. I'll show. I am having the fourth canto because we are going to recite one very important shloka. Correct. Now, Lord is personally there on Garuda, you can see here. Okay. So now, and there is a nice dialogue between Prithu Maharaj and Lord. So, although there is a lot of temptation for these devotees to act in a different way, they were powerful, but how they cooperated with the plan of the Lord. Okay. How they got that right understanding at the right place at the right time. How they showed the maturity when they dealt with that critical situation in the life. 100 Ashwamedh Yajna, but he has made 99, correct? But still, world is remembering whom? Indra or Prithu Maharaj? Hello? Hare Krishna.
Maharaj.
World is remembering Prithu Maharaj, not Indra. When you are giving this answer, please remember Indra is watching. You are paksh badal rahe aap abhi. Like that. Okay. So world is remembering Prithu Maharaj. That means the success, okay, when we get in our life, the accomplishment is not very important. The final achievement is not important. But how you are reached to that stage, how you are accomplished those things to that stage is very important. Yes, 99 is greater than 100. Okay, very nice. Prithu Maharaj example we saw. Then we saw the example of, as somebody said, Bali Maharaj, then the king Amrish and Durvasa Muni. Okay, how Durvasa Muni was, okay, accusing Amrish Maharaj, and still he was, okay, very peacefully and silent. Okay, so please understand, my dear devotees, why these devotees, they are able to respond silently at the critical situation. You want to know the answer for that? Because they had a very strong connection with the Supreme Lord. They had a very strong connection with the Supreme Lord. And one who has a very strong connection with the Supreme Lord, automatically that person get a strength, okay, to absorb the shocks. It act like a buffer, okay, to that person, buffer like shock absorber, like that. So otherwise, somebody will just get devastated if that connection with the Supreme Lord is not there. And here we see in each of the example in the pages of the Bhagavatam, these different devotees, they have showed their dealings at a critical situation very peacefully because of their strong connection with the Lord. And how one can have a strong connection with the Lord, that we'll see as we'll proceed. So here, a few examples we discuss. So Srila Prabhupada illuminates these responses in his purports very elaborately, that how he should have dealt and how he should have not dealt in this situation. Both pros and cons Prabhupada write beautifully. So we also encounter in our life so many different situations. Okay. But Srila Prabhupada's books gives us the inputs to deal with different situations in our life, to deal very maturely, to respond very maturely. See, one thing you remember in our life, so many ups and downs, they are going to come. Always. Never imagine the life with a smooth sailing. No, material life will be always like a turbulent. Correct. But how you respond to that, that's very, very important. And that maturity one gets by reading Srila Prabhupada books. Because many outside books, if you see, they talks about dealing with success. But the Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, Srila Prabhupada books, they talks about also dealing with failure also. And that's the beauty of Prabhupada books. So what inspires me, if you see personally about Srila Prabhupada, because there are many, many reasons. One could be like the identity of the Srila Prabhupada, okay? That if we have an affection and respect for the author, then automatically we become a recipient in the heart what the author is saying. And Srila Prabhupada deserve that kind of, what we can say, the affection and the respect uh, as an author. Like many times we see Srila Prabhupada is listening to his books, what he has written, or rather he is telling to disciples, please read Krishna book, please read other books. You can see hardly any author, he might be reading his books or hearing his books again and again. They just keep on go on writing the books like that. But Prabhupada used to read, because Prabhupada understood that these books are not written by me. These are directly dictated, okay, by Lord Krishna, and I just acted as an instrument of Lord Krishna. So Srila Prabhupada carried Hare Krishna devotees. Am I audible?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes,
Yeah,
Prabhuji,
sorry,
audible.
I'm just checking actually. Yeah, Srila Prabhupada carried this bhakti to USA, to these foreign countries, and fulfilled the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Bhakti Vinod Thakur desires. Correct? So Bhakti Vinod Thakur, and he said, scriptures have said that all these foreign people will come to Mayapur. Correct? And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has proclaimed. Then scriptures, Puranas have proclaimed. Bhakti Vinod Thakur has proclaimed. And Chaitanya, Srila Prabhupada, okay, he fulfilled that desire. So Srila Prabhupada's contribution is amazing. Amazing contribution. Daytime, if you see Srila Prabhupada daytime, he was involved in the management activities, conducting meetings, various services in the temple, guiding the devotees, and so many other things, letter writing and everything. During daytime. Okay. Even dealing with like cases like Mr. N about Zuhu temple, such dealings he used to do in the daytime. But nighttime, every night consistently, one thing he used to do, investing the time in writing Bhaktivedanta purport, because he said these are my ecstasy, these are like my heartbeats. And Srila Prabhupada said that study my books. Okay, devotees should study my books scrutinizingly. Therefore, we have these different courses: Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Vaibhav, Bhakti Vedanta, all these different courses we have. And Srila Prabhupada told disciples, study my books 2 to 3 hours every day, scrutinizingly. See how authoritative is the Srila Prabhupada, try to understand. Because that time, if you see, no smartphone was there. Now what happened, we required anything, we go to Veda base, we scroll that shloka, we read the translation, we read everything. But during that time, if you see the example of Srila Prabhupada, what he's saying, he's writing. Either he's dictating in the dictate phone or he's writing and devotees are noting down. Okay, and the books were going for printing. But Srila Prabhupada, when he's writing the books and when we read, you'll see the books are very simple to understand. Prabhupada gives the example of cage and bird to understand the soul, super soul. He gives the example of one bird is sitting on the one branch, another bird is sitting on another branch, and he's watching another bird. He used the example of elephant and fish in water. Okay, elephant is in a foreign land, fish is in the home territory, correct? Or he gives the clues like fish is small, which shows the humility. Elephant is a big, which shows like a ego and pride, like that. So when we read Srila Prabhupada example, these examples are immediately appealing, like car and driver for body and soul. And when we present during our device and other sessions also, is immediately struck to the listener also. "Oh, this simple example I never thought. Driver is very much required in a car. Only petrol and all machinery is not sufficient." So we compare that with the soul. So immediately it gives the convincing ability with the other person. So Srila Prabhupada has presented as per the current time place circumstances so wonderfully that even if we just repeat as it is his books, of course, first we have to read, that's what we understand, and we repeat as it is his books, okay, we'll able to contribute and assist in the Srila Prabhupada in a great way. Like we see the conception of like Radha Krishna, Rup Goswami Pad has also mentioned in the Sanskrit language. The conception of Radha and Krishna, the other many authors have also mentioned in Bengali language. But if you see the Srila Prabhupada, when he's writing the conception of Radha and Krishna, putting this concept of Radha and Krishna as one, as a Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the English language, okay, this English language is connecting the entire world. Because this English language is like a river. English language is like a lever. Okay, river, not liver, river. Okay, which river is flowing. And Srila Prabhupada is putting as a Charnamrut about this conception of Radha and Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, glories of devotional service. So anyone who comes in contact with this river is going to get benefit. Okay, so this is a major contribution of Srila Prabhupada writing the books in the English, which is connecting the entire globe. Okay, and unfolding the very deep realizations of the process of bhakti. Srila Prabhupada compiled together all these different books and whole philosophy, and he offered to us as a garland, like that. And if you ask each one of us, we came to devotional service either by devotee or somebody has gifted us the book. Correct? Somebody has gifted us the book. And we read that book and we got connected to Iskcon temple or nearby, okay, some community and center or voice, like that. Okay, so everyone's story will be different and which will be very inspiring. Okay, because Prabhupada would desire as his Guru Maharaj, the books should get distributed. So this book has a lot of impact. When we read Srila Prabhupada books and purport and share, we get realization and we share this realization with the others. The other person can get convinced about the faith. Another beauty is that when we read Srila Prabhupada books, every time it creates a fresh rasa. For example, if you read Bhagavad Gita, okay, if you read Bhagavad Gita, okay, and you are finished, and maybe after 1 year or 2 years, again you read Bhagavad Gita, when you are purport again, you will see that, yes, I am understanding something new in this Bhagavad Gita now, in this purport now. Like I'll show at the end that when I read, okay, like for example, Bhagavatam or some book, first time, I have underlined some lines. Okay. When I read second time, the lines which I am not underlined in the first reading, now I am underlining in the second time. Okay, like that. So every time when we read, we don't know where, which word, which sentence, which theme will struck us. And when we read, actually, it's as if Prabhupada is talking to us. So there are what we can say transcendental. These are like transcendental treasure actually. Unless you test it, you don't realize it. Unless you test it, you don't realize. So Srila Prabhupada has put efforts to translate in every word. Every word. Sometimes Prabhupada has taken 1 night, 2 nights, 2 days, or even 4 5 days to exactly write the correct meaning of that word, like that. So Srila Prabhupada says, like, when he write the book, he says these are like personal letters and messages to us. Like if you read the Prabhupada letters, how he has guided to the different devotees in his context of life. For us, Prabhupada may not be there directly, but these books are nothing but the personal letters for us of Srila Prabhupada, like that. So as we face some problem, okay, when we read Prabhupada books, we get the solutions in the Bhagavatam, in the Bhagavad Gita, in the pages of Srila Prabhupada books. Like we say, material problems and, yes, spiritual solutions. Okay. So therefore, it's very, very important for us to read Srila Prabhupada books. Okay. Now, the second part of our today's presentation is about some tips that how to read Srila Prabhupada books. In today's world, where we have a lot of distraction of social media, and how aspiring devotee still he can abide to this, what we can say, the strictness of reading the Srila Prabhupada books. Yeah. I hope devotees are understanding, and if there are any questions, surely at the end we'll have the questions. See, why we are not able to read? Because as we are passed out from the college, we left the habit of reading. Everybody agrees to this?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Okay. You remember your college days? Okay. You remember your last examination paper and for the subject for which you were preparing. After that examination, okay, जो intensity से आपने पढ़ा था, we lost that intensity. Correct. So that was the last book probably which we have left with that intensity. Correct. Na? After that, we have not developed the habit of reading intensely, and that we have to develop. And how and all that we'll understand in a simplified way. So we lost the habit of reading, that we have to admit first. Okay. See, devotees, what happen nowadays, they prefer hear but not read. Okay. Why? And can you share some tips on this? Why devotees prefer to hear more than to read?
Because they tendency of multitasking, which is easily doable while hearing.
Correct. See, in hearing, speaker is putting effort. Very good. Yeah, devotees are putting wonderful comments here. Exclusive attendance. In hearing, speaker is putting all the efforts, like making the PPT, putting the examples, putting the gesture, like voice modulation. Okay, so we is working hard. Correct? Na? Right now, like I am speaking now, in okay, uh, yeah, reading requires you to speak. Okay, in online, like very few actually they do exclusive hearing also. Most of us during online we do multitasking. I hope everybody agrees to this what I'm saying. इसको साक्षात्कार की जरूरत नहीं है. Generally when we attain anything online, we always have a tendency to do with a multitasking. कुछ ना कुछ हम करते रहते ही है. Correct? Like that. Very few they literally see an exclusive hearing. But hearing requires, or the what we can say, the of this entire load goes to the speaker actually. Okay, and the hearer is like a passive listener. But in reading, okay, what happened? The book doesn't work hard. Book just lie down. Correct, na? And sometimes we sleep and we fall on the book. We say, na, like, fess book. Okay, book is on the fess. Like that. So, therefore, reading is a very demanding activity. Try to understand. Reading is a very demanding activity. That's why we don't read. Okay. See, sometimes in our sadhana card, in our schedule, we have a slots of reading. Okay. But still, everybody prefers hearing. Maybe hearing by walking or doing something. And in this process, the reading becomes very weak, like that. So, therefore, the tip is that anything you are not able to do on spiritual platform, okay, start on ritual platform. Start on ritual platform. Like if you see in our villages also, sometimes in some Vitthal Mandir, or in sometimes if you go to Uttar Pradesh or other places, there also they read this Ramcharit Manas, or maybe the Bhagavad Gita, or some Jnaneshwari. They keep on reading all these different scriptures and literature. They come together once in a week and they read, like that. So at least they come together and read, like that. Okay. And they may come once a week, like that. But over the period when
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, we lost you.
Prabhuji will join back in 2 minutes if he has joined. Okay.
am I audible, Sachin Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Sorry. I don't know what has happened. Yeah. So basically, we should start with some few minutes, okay, reading every day, or we can associate with devotees who read. Okay, like for example, sometimes we become wonderstruck. Okay, like Gaurang Prabhu, Radhesham Prabhu, Amarendra Prabhu, Amag Leela Prabhu, or many speakers actually, how they are able to speak wonderfully. Why they are able to present the Siddhanta very nicely, which we feel inspiration, rather we should feel inspiration, correct na? Why they are able to present nicely? Because they have read the Prabhupada's books thoroughly, like that. And many times what happen, we say like no time. Okay, there is no, I don't have time, or I have less time. Okay, um, actually there is no concept of as such like time management. Okay, the life actually works. Life is about the priority management. Am I right? Life is about the priority management. You yourself can do introspect. Something has a priority in your life. Automatically, you will take out time for that thing. Do you agree?
Yes, bro.
Anything which will have a priority will have a time for sure. Correct? Like that. So many, many of us, we think that I'll do later. Okay. I'll do after retirement. Okay. After retirement, I'll start with the Bhagavatam and everything. That's not possible, my dear friend. You lose all your strength. Because एक एजुकेशनल का जो रीडिंग और कैपेसिटी रहता है उसका भी एक एज रहता है, करेक्ट ना? Now at the age of 60 somebody tells you do bhakti vaibhav or bhakti vedanta, it becomes very difficult because your memory is weak and everything. But at this age, when okay we have to do any courses, we should do maximum courses as Prabhupada has recommended, because we have an ability to grasp more and more, like that. And we should prioritize our life. Okay, when we understand the importance of Srila Prabhupada's reading of the books, automatically we'll prioritize in our life and we'll fit in our schedule, in 24-hour schedule, maybe for 24 minutes. Okay, so how do we get into these Srila Prabhupada books? Okay, so the practical tip could be we can write some inspirational quote where we can put, not somewhere hide, you can put where you put a tilak. Every day you put tilak, na? So on the mirror itself you can put a quote, like which will remind you that please read Srila Prabhupada books today. So that will remind you, yes, I have to read today my quota. Or ladies, they can put in the kitchen, okay, that yes, you have to put masala dabba रहता है ना, masala का डब्बा उसमें ही लगा होता है. Masala dabba is required for all this. So if you put at these places where frequently we come across, we get again and again reminded of that thing. So we have to basically regulate, and very important thing, we have to regulate our internet time. Internet is like a villain, correct na? It's like a villain. Okay, previously no internet, people used to have lot of time to read actually. Okay, but now in the due to internet and YouTube, we prefer to watch more videos on the YouTube. Okay, but we have to reduce that time. Recently Gaur Gopal Prabhu said na, today is Ekadashi. On Ekadashi we did fasting from grains and other things, but now we required fasting from not using mobile phones, from WhatsApp. Can we restrict till 12 o'clock in a day? I'll not use on Ekadashi any mobile phone or WhatsApp. Just start doing such kind of exercises. That will automatically prioritize our life to read the Srila Prabhupada books. Or we have a lot of TV with Netflix, then Amazon, or the high definition movies, web series, and all that, like that. So we have to stay away from all these things. We have to stay away from the gossip. We have to stay away from the prajalpa. Whenever we go to the journey, just put one small book of Srila Prabhupada in your bag. Even if you don't read and bring it back as it is, no issue. But slowly, slowly, you will develop a habit. One time you will read that, remove that book, and you may read it for 2 minutes, for 3 minutes, or for 4 minutes, like that. Just put that book in your bag. So many times we get small slot during our travel or free time, and we can prefer to read Srila Prabhupada books. Maybe one line, just randomly open. The book is there, just randomly open any page and start reading any one paragraph, it's sufficient, like that. Like if you say Radhesham Prabhu, he mentioned recently, he's so super busy man. He gives 6 classes per day, but he never travels by flight unless it is urgent. He prefers to travel by train. Do you know why? When he is going to Mayapur or Jagannath Puri or other places, Hyderabad, he prefers to travel by train so that peacefully 1 or 2 days he can exclusively read, like that. So we have to take a target for our reading, maybe 20 minutes per day. That means like we can say 10 hours, okay, in a month we can say, or 30 hours, 60 hours, based on our capacity per month. We can take a target. We can divide those target per week. We can divide those target per day, and we can read. We can stick to those target, like that. So sometimes if you are feeling we are not able to fulfill the target, then just like we have a marathon, okay, so we should also have a reading marathon also. We should isolate ourselves, sit in one room, go to some other place. We can carry some snacks, some material, okay, some samosa, whatever you like, you carry, and fix the target, and that will help you to fulfill the target for that week or for that target month. And not just completing the target, but whenever you feel you can do the revision of some chapters, go back again, revise the shloka, go back again, revise some highlighted points over there. I'll show some of them. And you can share it. You can share it with some other devotee. That will help you to remember that more. You can preach like that. Okay. Therefore, we say the preaching is the essence. So you can speak to someone. So if you speak to someone, that will retain your knowledge. That will help you. And you read graphically. You can make a flow chart. You can underline. If required, you can make some notes. You can draw some figure, like that. Rather, you should worship the Srila Prabhupada books. Okay, Bhagavatam, you can worship with a lamp. You can worship the Srila Prabhupada books with agarbatti, like that. And whenever you are reading the Srila Prabhupada books, that place must be very clean. Okay, you should have a table lamp. Like for example, here I am sitting, it has a table lamp. Okay, I can sit here. If there is a night time, then I can, that will help me to focus actually. Okay, or we should encourage each other that we have to read, do Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Vaibhav, IDC, like that. So like next question is like, which will come to your mind, that how do we plan, how do we execute, because we are failing again and again, we are failing again and again in reading this. Okay, for that there is very beautiful shloka in the Bhagavatam which we'll read. I'll recite. It's Bhagavatam 4.22.23. Somebody can type in the chat box here. 4.22.23. अथेन्द्रियारामसगोस्ततृष्णया तत्सम्मतानाम परिग्रहेण च विविक्तरुचा परितोष आत्मनि विना हरेर्गुण पीयूषपानात्. Please read the translation. I'll read the translation. You'll hear attentively. The last line is very important. Okay, I'll read the translation. One has to make progress in spiritual life by not associating with persons who are simply interested in sense gratification and making money. Not only such persons, but one who associates with such person should be avoided. One should mold his life, very important. One should mold his life in such a way that he cannot live in peace without drinking the nectar of the glorification of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hari. One can be thus elevated by being disgusted with the test for the sense enjoyment. Yeah, very thank you for sharing this on your screen. So this last line is very important. Vina harer guna piyusha pana, like that. That one should mold his life in such a way that he cannot live in peace unless he hear or read or okay this nectar of Harikatha. This purport is very, very important. We have time restriction, but there are highlights of this purport. Prabhupada mentioned that how we should prioritize our life and what is a real cause we should aspire for what purpose this Krishna consciousness movement is started for. I give this exercise of reading this purport at home, but this last line of this verse is very important, that Vinar Harer Guna Piyusha Panat. One should mold his life in such a way that he cannot stay comfortably without drinking the Harikatha. And to drink the Harikatha every day, we should read Srila Prabhupada books. That's very important. See, we chant 16 rounds. Every day we take 2 or 3 meals. Correct? Now we eat every day. Similarly, studying Srila Prabhupada books, Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, will keep the stability in our devotional service. That's very important. So reading Srila Prabhupada books is also vrata. Like today we have taken vrata. I will fast from the grains. So why don't you take vrata? That on every Ekadashi, at least I'll read 2 hours. Every day I can read 20 minutes, 15 minutes, but on Ekadashi, I can read for 1 hour. I can read maximum on Ekadashi. Like we get 2 Ekadashi in a month. Why don't we do that? We have 24 hours a day. So why not? Why can't we give 24 minutes to read Srila Prabhupada books? Why can't we give 12 minutes for reading Srila Prabhupada books? Like Bhagavad Gita talks about this Machita Madgata Prana Bodhayanta Parasparam. Correct? So this beautiful shloka tells that when we read this Srila Prabhupada's books and when we discuss this among the devotees, that really helps us in our understanding, making our understanding better and we come closer to Krishna. There is very beautiful Parasparanu Kathanam. I'll just give me 1 minute. I just get that shloka 1 second. Yeah. This shloka number, if possible, you can share here 11.3.30. Srimad Bhagavatam 11 canto 11.3.30. Very beautiful shloka. Oh, it has come here immediately. Yeah. Parasparanu kathanam pavanam bhagavadyasha mithorathi mithotusti nivrutti mitha atmana. Translation. Can somebody read the translation?
Okay, translation. One should learn how to associate with the devotees of the Lord by gathering with them to chant the glories of the Lord. This process is most purifying as devotees thus develop their loving friendship. They feel mutual happiness and satisfaction, and by thus encouraging one another, they are able to give up material sense gratification, which is the cause of all suffering.
Wonderful. So, when we associate with the devotees, one should learn what is the importance of associating with the devotees. Okay, basically, why we associate with devotees, we have to chant the glories of the Lord, and this is the most purifying process. And therefore, devotee must develop the loving friendship. Okay, so therefore, here, as we see in the example of Prachetas also, okay, how Krishna become very happy when these Prachetas they are focusing fully on the devotion. He gives the essence actually. So, we should not actually feel burden of reading Srila Prabhupada books. If we feel like, okay, someday some sections, some are bored, someday we feel very tired. Yes, no problem. I said you can complete the quota on the weekend or month end also, like that. But we should commit. We should commit with some groups, some discussion groups, some study groups, make some notes, okay, in your own words. Okay. Try to put some points in your own words. You can make some small chart, okay, some lines you can underline, okay, so that you can digest it better. Or like we do some kind of courses like Bhakti Shastri. You can read these 4 books: Bhakti, Bhagavad Gita, NOI, NOD. Okay, all these books you can study very systematically, and certificate courses are there. Or you can conduct a quiz. Okay, you can conduct a quiz like that. Sometimes, like I remember during our initial days when we used to travel in a train, me and my wife. Okay, when we are going for yatra or coming, like this Gaur, who is this IIT professor in computer science, IIT Bombay, Gaur, I forgot the name. So he told us a technique that he was there with us in a train. Like we used to read Prabhupada books, okay, me and my wife, and then we used to make some 2-3 questions, 2-3 questions, and then we'll ask each other those questions. So this could be like reading just 4 or 5 pages, but in deep, okay, not just moving like that. When we conduct a quiz, or sometimes we can read in a circle and there can be one moderator who will conduct the healthy quiz there, like that. So that we can do. So another question may come, we are towards the end, that how we have to balance this with our professional life. Correct, no? Sometimes you may say for brahmacharis it will possible, but how we have to do as a grihastha? That's it's very important. Sometimes we travel, okay, for our job in a cab, okay, or sometimes in a job during lunchtime we get some time. Sometimes at home we have a small kids, we may not able to get time when we are at home. Okay, then in that case we have to wake up in the morning or before sleeping. Okay, some time we have to take out. So somewhere we have to prioritize, my dear devotees. Otherwise, it's not possible. Otherwise, it's not possible. And analyze. You can make some notes. You can underline in different color. Use green color. You can use black color. You can use red color, like that, while making the notes, and that will help you. See, one thing is use, okay, make some wonderful PowerPoint presentation, some examples, okay, what Prabhupada is about, like we discussed now, elephant and fish, ash and fire. You go for some positive examples, some negative examples, and you'll make nice presentation. But that when we have to give some presentation, some class, that is there. But why can't we develop that, inculcate that as a everyday habit for us? Even if you read Srila Prabhupada books once, why can't we repeat it again, like that? So if we have to preach and we have to we have to give a class, surely we'll read and constantly and share your relation. But definitely that part is also very important. But every day when we read, slowly it will transform our heart, like that. Like in our counselor meeting, what I do is that you can ask, some of our counselors are also here, must be here, that every counselor meeting last half an hour, I speak for 45 minutes to 1 hour. But every time two devotees, whether it's a Prabhuji or Mataji, husband and wife, every time, okay, they will speak for 15 to 20 minutes, any topic which is related to our Srila Prabhupada's pastime, Krishna Lila, or where they were heard, what they are learning, hearing, what classes, and they are undergoing some course. Whatever they are reading currently, they have to prepare for 10 to 15 minutes or 20 minutes, and they can speak on that. So that gives the opportunity for them to study and present. And one studies and present, when this cycle goes, this really develop the test for looking more and more. Because sometimes you think, I have to present this point. Let me check what Prabhupada said about this point in another verse, another canto, another part of Bhagavad Gita, like that. That really provoke us like that. Now, towards the end, we are coming that some kind of, I'll say some tips, practical tips, like some kind of one liner, I'll say. As a congregation, okay, when we have to read, we should be accountable to read Srila Prabhupada books, and how we can make ourselves accountable. Okay, just like we have Japathon during this Haridas Thakur disappearance day, correct? Now we have the Japathon, we chant more and more for that week. Similarly, we can have a reading marathon. Okay, just like we are joining here on a Zoom, why can't we have reading session on Zoom, or why can't we go on some remote place, okay, like that, and we read, coming together and we read, or we alone can go and we can read, okay, or 1 or 2 days in a month we can come together, read, share, listen, or we can involve some senior person, okay, which will add some good combination to our this team, small team, like that. So 25 minutes reading every morning, like our dear Mukundan Prabhu, he does online classes, online reading every day, 7:10 to 7:30, 7:30 to 7:50, every day, Hindi and English reading books. Some 15, 20 devotees join. They have finished all small books and big books of Prabhupada. Our Tulsi Prabhu, he takes reading online, Zoom, every evening. They are in the Bhagavatam now, 5th canto, like that. So there are many sessions, many facilities are available. We have to just go and plug in our Zoom ID and we have to join to that, like that. Because it's as I said, it should be the part of the morning program. In his own purport, Prabhupada said like 1 hour reading in the morning is equal to 5 hour reading in a daytime. Okay, so when we read 20, 25 minutes, or even if we read 17 minutes, okay, and 7 minutes we discuss, okay, 16, 17 minutes we are reading the page by page, and 7, 8 minutes when we are reading, we are discussing, then we have completed like almost 5 pages per day, but we are going deep into that for that 25 minutes. So, and that our foundation becomes very solid. Okay, so you can and these tips, what everybody has, everybody's realization, everybody's tips will be different. Now in the last 5 minutes, I'm going to share how I started reading, what inspired me, and how I completed reading Srila Prabhupada books, Srimad Bhagavatam. I read all the books of Srila Prabhupada, and now I'm going in the second turn and third turn. But how I have done, what inspires me, what has inspired me, that I'll share. In one of the IVF meeting, I got a gift in one competition, or some in quiz competition. I got a gift in the Kunjabihari temple. There was book like the second chance. You know the books, the second chance. Okay, and the second chance book I just read after that gift. I just read that book, and I saw on the first page. You know, every page, Srila Prabhupada's books, first page, there is a list of all his books is mentioned. Then I purchased one book from the gift stall. I completed that. Then I can take another book. I started with small books, and I used to tick in that book. I used to make all the ticks in that book. Okay, 1 minute. I'll just show you actual book, how I write everything. 1 second. Yeah. Hare Krishna. Am I audible?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes,
Yeah,
Prabhuji,
yeah.
audible.
For example, I just whatever is here currently is just showing the second chance from the library. Chaitanya Charam. Yeah. I don't know whether you will be able to see this. Can you see this?
Yes.
I have written by the pencil. Somebody can read what is the start date? Visible?
Not so clear. Can you please
Not readable, Prabhuji.
little bit up?
16th,
Okay.
16th
I have
July
written start date,
2009. 2009.
start date, end date I have written.
16th July 2009.
Yeah, start date, end date, and target date. If you see, can you read those three things? Okay, so I'll read for you. So start date 16th July 2009. Target I made 15th October 2009. I added like 3 months time, and then I have finished it on the 5th December 2009. So I have exceeded whatever target I made. I could not finish that. Okay, and exceeded time limit. No problem. No problem. Okay, like that. But during my reading, whatever highlight points are there that I have noted on the few pages. If you see first on these pages, some important points which I realized. Okay, important that I have just mentioned here by pencil, like that. So for every book, I have done like that. Now let's come to the Chaitanya Charitamrita, which I have taken. Yeah. Can you see now start date, end date? This is the last canto of Chaitanya Charitamrita. I don't know if it's visible or not. It's visible? No. Yes, 14th March 2012. Target was 14th September 2012. I gave 6 months. Maybe that time the priorities in the life would have been different. So I gave the 6 month time. If you saw for first canto, I gave 3 months. And end date, I could able to finish on 31st March itself. I could able to finish this in 15 days. You got my point? That means, but we give comfort to us. I'll give 6 month time. If you complete finish before that, that's fine. If not, then you can extend. Don't put like nahi ho raha hai, musse nahi hoga, just give apart. For every book of Srila Prabhupada, every book of Bhagavatam canto, when I start reading, I put this kind of this start date, target date, and end date, like that. And even if it exceeds, I don't mind for that. Okay. Similarly, I have this thing, CB, Chaitanya Charitamrita. See, here again dates are mentioned. Start date, end date, and this target date. Maybe sometimes I mentioned some Muhurt also, maybe Ram Navami or something like that. So here, the start is 19th February 2014, end is 31st March 2014. And it was a Vijaya Ekadashi, Ishwarpuri disappearance. I have ended on 26th Feb, like that. Similarly, Srimad Bhagavatam, that's last one I'll share. Srimad Bhagavatam, last canto. You can see the last canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. I don't know whether it's visible. Not visible, no? It's visible?
No, Prabhuji.
No.
Yeah. It is started on like 4th July 2009, target on 31st July 2009, and finished on 15th July 2009. Like 15th July was Loknath Goswami disappearance day, like that. And again, I started reading second time on 2020 and finished on July 2020. And some notes are written like that. I have mentioned it's completed Srimad Bhagavatam translation reading from this date and this date, total 108 days, like that. So we are making oneself accountable. What is our speed of reading? Are we reading every day? Like that. And when we write something, now we become more accountable actually. When we write something, we become more accountable. So for every book, what I have read, okay, I have mentioned the start and end date. Can you see this? This was my first book as an inspiration of my journey. What is the title of the book?
A second chance.
Second chance. Okay. So here also, can you see the date? I think yes, you must be able to see. Somebody can read? नहीं दिख रहा है ना?
97.
Exactly. Yeah. 24th June 97. I finished 26th June 97. 2 दिन में 48 hours, one book. my first book of reading Srila Prabhupada. Okay, and then what was this thing was there, na? The index of this. If you see the last page, we have the bibliography. All the books of Srila Prabhupada are there. Okay, so this book has inspired me so much that then I purchased every book from the library. Okay, and I go on making the tick everywhere. You can see here like that. Okay, so the point which I'm telling is that it's not difficult for everyone. It's just your, what we can say, the test or the determination is required. And as we read the beautiful shloka from the Bhagavatam, the prioritizing or molding your life. Okay, so if you prioritize, surely you will take out the time, read. And sometimes I just read for 5 minutes, sometimes I read for 20 minutes, and I'm not putting too much condition on me. Nahi hua ekad din, nahi hua, because other family are priority, job is priority. Okay, so many other things are priority. But when we read these books, and when we are dealing with difficult situations in the life, that gives us the confidence that how to respond to this situation, how to deal with this situation. And Lord, in the form of Paramatma, he gives us the understanding at the right time, at the right place. Okay, that how we can put the right words, choose the right language, deal with in terms of action with that situation. So therefore, the scriptural touch is very important in the Grihastha life to develop the nourishment for oneself as well as for the family members. Because when you read, when the family members see that you sit and read, okay, you make a separate place in your house, whether table, chair, or you can put some chadar, put a table lamp there, some small desk. Okay, I used to have previously, and that can be your separate reading room. Okay, separate section. When you go there, it's isolated. And maybe if your family members want to join for reading a book, from which you can tell the stories to the children, you can discuss. So that is like very nourishing. Your mother, fathers are there, parents are there. You can read the Krishna book in Hindi, Krishna book in Marathi, whatever language they like. But when you read and when they hear this Prabhupada's purport and Prabhupada ecstasy, they will get attached to Srila Prabhupada. They will get attached to the Srila Prabhupada. That's for sure. And that's our whole purpose of this discussion, that why we have to read Srila Prabhupada books, because that is the basis of our devotional service. When we read Srila Prabhupada books, we'll be always on the right track. We'll be always on the right track. Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. And when we are confident in terms of our knowledge, automatically we'll get empowered. Krishna will choose us and he will execute his plan through us, whatever he wants to do, like that. So with this, it's almost 12:30. I would like to conclude my presentation here. And if you have any questions or any comments or any suggestions, or anybody has some better practice or other practices, you can also share over here. That will help the other devotees also and inspire to read Srila Prabhupada's books better and better way. And you can see the Srila Prabhupada's life itself. Okay, 45 years of life. He was not, he was a Grihastha only. But during his time, okay, he was reading, he was contemplating, remembering the shloka. You see Srila Prabhupada classes, he quotes many shlokas. Why is he able to quote many shlokas? Why? Because he contemplated during his Grihastha ashram time. And therefore, during his 14 hours of journey, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Sorry.
During his 14 hours of journey, 14 years of journey, he is able to quote shloka, an example. Why? Because he spent time in reading and understanding those books. Sometimes I also, many times, I just put different shlokas on different pages. Like these are some of the prayers of Vratrasur. Okay, I have just 4 pages. So whenever I feel some time is there somewhere, I just put this in back. I contemplate, or whatever shloka inspires me, I just keep on writing. Okay, from Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, Prabhupada gives different shlokas, highlights. Okay, different shlokas. I make collection of those, and that really helps us. Whenever we are feeling weak, we can open the shloka and we can read those shlokas. So that gives a boost. Like Prabhupada himself, he wrote one book, that important shlokas from the book. But you can see that book was there, Prabhupada's books about the important shlokas, like that. So like this, this reading habit is very, very important, my dear devotees, and it will really help and nourish us and will give a lot of satisfaction in devotional life to oneself. And when we are preaching, we can preach boldly and confidently to the entire world, that will and by that we can assist in the movement of Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. Yes, over to you, Sachin Prabhu. Any questions, any comment?
Hare Krishna.
Am I audible?
Yes, Prabhuji. So Hare Krishna, any devotees, if they have any question, they can raise the hand and they can ask the question, else they can put the question in the chat box also. There is one question, chat box.
Yeah. So you can repeat the question, please. Yeah. First question I can take regarding the notes. You can repeat the question, Prabhuji.
Yes,
it will help others also.
Okay. So that first, I can able to see first question is about, could you please provide the tips about making notes? Can we know based on paragraph or example how you made the beautiful points?
Yeah. For example, like suppose I had to give a Bhagavatam class. So I don't know this visible over here. Okay, in temple. Suppose it's visible, Sachin bro? I don't know. So you can see the notes. Okay. I noted the verse number, then I read from the Bhagavatam, the translation, and then I'm noting down the key points in my notebook from that, on that verse. You can see some points I have underlined here. It's visible, Sachin bro?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, bro.
Yeah. Sorry, actually, yeah, some points are underlined over here. Or some points you can see I put in a red marks also. Okay, red marks are there.
Yes,
okay, or
Yes,
numbering is done with a, yeah, numbering is done. Or I'll just take you further. That can you see here some examples I have noted here?
Yes.
Can you read that red color word?
It's
What is that red color word?
expert devotees.
Expert devotee.
Yeah.
Expert devotee. So if you see the first example is about Prahlad Maharaj. Second is about
Haridas Thakur. Yeah.
Haridas Thakur. Very good, like that. So like then Kolovicheshi there, Patrasur, then Vasudeva Datta, Lord Shiva, Srila Prabhupada. Okay, like I have noted like 8 to 10 examples. Okay, that how these expert devotees they are asked. That was a theme of Bhagavatam actually. Okay, then finally if you see here in red color I have written title. Can you read?
Lessons
Correct. Lessons we learn.
Learn pain.
So, correct. So lesson we learn. That was the theme of Diti and Indra. And what are the different lessons we learn from this Bhagavatam? Correct. So whenever we give any class, we prepare, we should know the objective and we should know the outcome of that. So I read like 2 pages, but what is the outcome of that? How that 2 pages I can put into the practical application. Okay, how it is helped me in the personal application. That's very important. Something is not the personal application that really doesn't appeal to us more, like that. So we can make notes like that. And whatever questions we get, like here, if you see, I have put question 1. Okay, I have put question 2 here. That means I got some questions which I thought probably the audience will ask these questions, and noted those questions, and I already noted the points what based on the Prabhupada purport and Prabhupada classes, my Guru Maharaj classes, and other classes from that. I hope first question is clear about the notes, Sachin Prabhu, or whoever has asked.
Yes, bro.
Second question you can say.
If someone is directly asking, like Amok Darshan.
Sachin bro, can you see this verse actually? Sachin bro, it's visible.
Samas.
No problem. But you can see this Sanskrit verse is there. Atha chitta samadhatu.
Yes.
So for this Sanskrit verse, I have written the meaning of each word just next to that.
Yes, Prabhuji, it's there.
Then theme of translation and the some key points from the purport I have noted like that. So just addition to the previous question, like that I make a notes. Yeah. Please go to next question.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
One devotee can ask at one time.
Prabhuji,
Okay, go on, Prabhuji. You can go.
Yeah, one will take online like this, and one will take whatever is mentioned in the chat box like that.
Prabhuji, I have a question. Like, even I have the habit of making notes when I'm attending like some any discourse or lecture. Then, but what the problem is that I don't like revise or look at it back when I'm free. Also, like I like just ignore it, or that is my how to change my that bad habit into a good habit of revising it and looking at it back. Like,
Yeah, very good. Thank you for wonderful question, because this is very, you are saying very honest this thing. So this can be helped only because by the you associate with the devotee, okay, who can have a test of reading, who can have a test of reading. Okay, you associate with that devotee, because that is the only solution. Otherwise, we may go on okay, reading oneself, and we may neglect. But if you associate with the devotee who has a test of hearing, so test of reading, then that will help us to come out of that zone. Is that clear, Prabhuji?
yes,
Am I
Prabhuji, because
audible?
ultimately, yes, Prabhuji, you are audible. Because ultimately, the diary or the book is notebook is getting filled with the notes, and but still there is a laziness or like in revising or returning back the pages and looking at what I noted down on that particular date or day. Prabhuji, I think you are on mute.
Am I audible?
Still,
Yes.
yes, now you are audible.
Hare Krishna. Yeah.
Yes,
I
yes,
hope
Prabhuji, you are
answer to
now.
your question is clear. Yeah, basically you have to take an assistant of some other friend who has a test for reading. Join with him. Take out a time and sit with him. That's very much required. Endeavor from your side.
Ji, Prabhuji. Got that.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Next question, Prabhuji, we are taking from chat box, and the question is that can we read
Yeah,
more than one book simultaneously?
Yeah, very good question. Yes, you can read more than one book simultaneously. I would suggest maybe I can mail the list of Srila Prabhupada's books or the sequence and other things to Sachin Prabhu, and maybe you can share with others. Correct? So we have Prabhupada books, list of Prabhupada books. In what sequence we can read Srila Prabhupada books? That is mentioned. Which books we can read parallelly? That is also mentioned. So that you can follow, that will surely help you. I can share that list later to Sachin Prabhu. Is that okay?
Yes, Prabhuji.
But you can read. The answer is yes. You can read two books parallelly if you have that time. Okay, you can read. Yes.
Next, anyone would like to ask question directly?
One question. Hare Krishna. Audible?
Yeah. Yes, Prabhu, go on.
How to make target, let us when you're starting some book, or make a target, you consider like this many pages I will complete in a day, and like that you calculate, or how do you make a target, Prabhuji?
Sachin Prabhu, could you please repeat the question? Voice was breaking here.
I'm asking, when you're starting, you're writing a target, the right target of completion. So on base, things you consider to make a target, that you calculate it is, or
Your
how
voice
you
is
make
breaking,
that.
Prabhuji. Voice is breaking. Sachin Prabhu, could you please
I
repeat?
have
His
put
voice
that
is breaking
also.
up.
Somebody asked that question chat
Yes,
also. Can
yes,
somebody
Prabhuji.
see that?
So he is basically asking when you are starting the book, on what basis you decide the target date, on which date it will be completed, whether do you calculate it on the basis of pages, or like what basis? That's the question, right, Prabhuji?
Yeah, very.
Yes.
Yes, yeah, very good. It's a very important question actually. Like we read the sloka from the Bhagavatam, okay? You have to mold your life, okay? And if there is a priority in the time management, surely you will read, correct? So generally, as a Grihastha, we go through a life in different phases, correct? No? Imagine you have a small baby, okay, at your home, just newborn baby. Forget for next 1 month or 1.5 months, you get a time to read. Suppose your wife, by chance, suppose she is going to Maika for 1.5 month or 2 months like that, and that's like you are like a brahmachari only. You can increase your targets more in that phase of life. Okay, but suppose wife is there and baby is there, baby is not sleeping at the night, then reading becomes like reading will come to like 2 minutes or 5 minutes per day, to that level. Correct, na? In that case, if you are making a target to the book like Second Chance book, okay, this book, and it has pages like around 200 pages, correct, na? So you can give target for such books like even 2 months, no problem. Because currently priority in your life is what? You have to take care of your baby also. Reading is also priority, but you are increasing it. It is a important, but it is not urgent. Correct, na? We have that 4 category, na? Important, 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 not urgent, urgent and not important, and important and urgent, like that. Okay. So we are going as a Grihastha in a different phase of life. Accordingly, you have to prioritize. If you feel like next 2 months, I have a very deadlines in the office work. Okay, I have to learn, I have to study some programming, I have to develop my skill sets. Okay, but still I have to read every day Srila Prabhupada books. Okay, so if you are taking a like first canto of Bhagavatam, then today you are putting a date, then put a completion date after maybe 6 months, because you know next 2 months you are not going, you'll not able to read much. You'll able to read at least one page, hardly one shloka or two shlokas per day, not more than that. Increase the target more, like that. So proportionately based on the phase of life, you have to mention the target, and then you have to go on completing, but you have to complete the target. And that joy, please understand, the joy when you complete the book and when you write their date, whatever completed, whether it's a before the target, it's a different joy. It is a after the target, it's a different joy that gives us satisfaction. And that joy, when you smile, Krishna also smiles, and that's the success of your reading. Prabhupada will also surely smile on. I hope it is clear.
Yeah, you have given so like I will think from the perspective of pages are
Voice
in
is
there
breaking, Prabhu.
in the book. Okay,
Hare
I'll
Krishna,
ask you
voice is
personally.
breaking. Maybe you can. No, you can put in a chat box, and Sachin Prabhu will repeat. Or Sachin Prabhu, you are able to hear, then you can repeat. Hare
The
Krishna.
second one is not clear, Prabhuji. He can put it in
Maybe
the chat box.
you can request. Please put in the chat box. Please put. I think Amok Darshan Prabhu is there. Please put in the chat box.
Okay. Prabhuji, next question.
Yes, Prabhu, next.
Yeah, Prabhuji, sometime we started new book or new section of Srimad Bhagavatam, and we feel lot of enthusiasm and eagerness. But after some time, due to our lot of interaction of outside things, that spirit not continue for a long time. How can we make same spirit throughout life and increases our interest more?
Yeah, very good. See, consistency is very important. Consistency is very important in life, actually. Okay. Sometimes we may have test in doing something, we may not have test in not doing, like that. Okay. But if you see, I give the example of meal. We take everyday meal. Why do we take? Because we want to get nourished. We brush every day. Why do we? Because we want to maintain healthy oral hygienic. Okay. So many activities we do. Consistent in reading also, maybe one page, one shloka, one word. Okay, if you don't get time for 24 hours a day, at least open and just close. Or can't you just touch the book and take darshan? Today I could not touch, but please forget tomorrow. Okay, I'll surely, like that. Because that will make yourself accountable for reading. अगर आप 8 दिन वो बुक की तरफ देखा ही नहीं, बुक ऐसे पड़ा है धूली में, then you lose the interest. Then if one week jayega, 15 days, 1 week, 6 months, then the 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30, 40 year life jayega, Prabhupada ke book hum padhe nahi. We'll go as it is, like that, to the next life. Commitment to oneself. एक बार तो मैं श्रील प्रभुपाद के सब बुक्स पढ़ लूंगा, minimum once at least, like that. So therefore, it's very important to maintain a consistency. If you are not able to maintain, then I give example, you can join some online groups like Mukunanpur, Tulsi Prabhu, or some other groups, whichever is convenient to you. Or why don't 3-4 devotees near staying by, why don't you come together physically or online together, Okay, like that. That's also a wonderful solution. If somebody is not there, why don't you take initiative and invite other friends? That's another aspect. Correct? Yeah. Yes, Paul. Next.
This is the question by our Amok Darshan Prabhu. He has put in the chat box. That question was, secondary question was like whether you calculate pages and divide it in days and then make the target. Basically, how you decide your target date.
Exactly. I first see the number of pages in that particular volume, particular book. Okay. And then which month is going, like February, May, March, April. Okay. Number of days we know. Okay. Approximately we divide. Okay. Number of days. So we come to know per day. Accordingly, then the target goes. But always at back of mind, what is the priority currently in the life? What is the phase of life currently? Correct. No? Like last 1 year, I could able to read very less because my PhD thesis completion was there. Almost 6 months went into that about the writing the thesis, the writing the publications. Last 8-9 months were very packed last year, especially. So I couldn't read much. Reading was there, but at a very slow pace. You got my point, like that. So because that was completion, that was very much essential for me as stability in my Grihastha ashram, completing the PhD. That was need of my professional life. Okay. Similarly, you understand what is the need, and then you decide the priority and divide the number of pages and go ahead, writing the start date, target date, and end date, like that. Yes. Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Yeah, I have one more question. Yeah. So, Prabhuji, Srila Prabhupada asked us to study his book, okay? Like here, the previous question was regarding the taking the target and complete it in few days. So, how to balance between when we go for study, we may go for perfection. We will try to read the many other purports by different acharyas and so many things regarding that. So that is about studying, but we also have to complete other books also. So how to strike a balance between both of these aspects?
Yeah, very good. You remember, I'll share my first day when I got Bhagavatam from temple. I think myself and Mukundan Prabhu was there. We were so happy actually. तो हमने क्या किया, भागवतम का बॉक्स खाली किया, वी वर सिटिंग इन बिटवीन, और पूरे भागवतम हमने कलरफुल ऐसे साइड में रखे, एकदम मस्त साइड था वो. यू नो, भागवतम आर सो कलरफुल. यू सी व्हाट इज दिस कलर? इट्स अ बीच कलर. करेक्ट ना? मस्त है, सब पेस्टल कलर है. ये देखो कौन सा कलर है ये? इट्स एक्वा ग्रीन कलर. कैन यू सी? अगेन पेस्टल कलर. ये देखो 12th कैंटो भागवतम, पर्पल कलर. कैन यू सी? Amazing.
Yes, please.
So each book actually so colorful. I still remember that day हम दोनों बैठे थे और पूरे भागवतम ऐसे साइड पे रखे थे, like that. And we were just seeing Bhagavatam. Sometimes what happen, I take Bhagavatam and just see the pictures. You saw in the Bhagavatam we have nice pictures also. Correct ना? Picture जो plate बोलते हैं उसमें, plate, और नीचे last time लिखा हुआ रहता है, like that. You can go through that. Another thing, when I'm reading now second time the Bhagavatam, okay, when I asked Rai Shambhu, then you can join the other groups who have a test for reading Bhagavatam. Now I am studying Bhagavatam. I am reading Bhagavatam in the second time with the Bhagavad Subodhini by Gaurang Darshan Prabhu. Gaurang Darshan Prabhu has written Bhagavad Subodhini, Bhagavad Ratnamala, and other books for CC and other. These are like a guides. They talk like for any section which you are reading, they give the bird's eye view. What is the theme, how it moves, how the shlokas are connected, and all those things, like that. That is called as a studying scrutinizingly. Okay. But initially, to develop to that stage, why don't you read the Bhagavatam in a sequence or maybe section wise? Sometimes some devotees prefer to read the Bhagavatam section wise. Just go on reading. Just go on reading, like that. But always read with shloka, word to word meaning, translation, and purport. Please read like this only. It takes time. It takes, what we can say, the more effort. Okay. But it is very much recommended rather than just reading the translation or going by translation after translation. No, you should read the purport. That is the ecstasy of Srila Prabhupada. Purports, you will say hats off to Srila Prabhupada at many shlokas. You will see, something is going in my life, and that is very much Prabhupada is speaking here. This will really help me to again retrack my life on the right route, actually. So this is the difference between the scrutinizingly studying and reading. In the first shot, you can just go on reading. Okay. But if you are registering for particular course, Bhakti Shastri, where you have to read Bhagavad Gita, NOI, they'll conduct some exam. Then it's a scrutinizingly study. For that, you have to study scrutinizingly only. That's very much needed.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yes, thank you.
Anyone would like to ask question?
In chat box, it's there because I'm
Well,
asking. You
no,
can see.
Sandeep, do you want to ask?
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, I am fond
Hare
of
Krishna.
reading Srila Prabhupada Bhagavad Gita. I have read repeatedly, almost 5 to 6 times. So I am not inclined to read others' books. So how can I do that? I am just reading of that.
Yeah, wonderful, wonderful. Yeah. So actually, yes, Srila Prabhupada has wrote the Bhagavad Gita amazingly, and the Bhagavad Gita is a very practical book. Just like whenever we get any mobile, we get manual with that mobile. Any calculator, any machine, we get manual. Correct? No? Similarly, Bhagavad Gita is like a manual for our human life, and it has all the solutions within it. Okay, any shloka we can quote, any problem we have, we can go to the purport and translation. It's wonderful. It's amazing for you to have the test of reading Bhagavad Gita. Okay. But what happened when we read other books of Srila Prabhupada also, that gives the broader understanding what is the mood of Srila Prabhupada. Okay. When we read like Srimad Bhagavatam, when we see the relationship between devotee and the Lord, relationship between devotee and devotee, relationship between the two Uttam Adhikari devotee, relationship between Uttam Adhikari and Madhyam Adhikari, relationship between the Madhyam and Kanishta, Kanishta, Kanishta. You understood? So when we read Bhagavatam or Chaitanya Charitamrut, you will understand these dynamics. That will help you to develop nice relationship with the devotees. And when we read Srila Prabhupada books like Second Chance, Easy Journey to Other Planets, okay, then the Rasaraj Sri Krishna, all these books will also help us because these are based on the Bhagavatam only, correct? Like Krishna book is the 10th canto Bhagavatam, okay? The teachings of Queen Kunti, it comes in the first canto of Bhagavatam, okay? Science of Self-Relation, amazing book. So when you read this book, Prabhupada quotes many, many examples in that. Prabhupada elaborately explained the many concepts actually. So that will help you to understanding your knowledge in a broader way, and you can present it in a nicely when if you are into the preaching engagement or not in the preaching engagement, but at least as a confidence oneself will become very deep actually when we read other books of Srila Prabhupada also. And whatever is mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita, rather you will get more convinced and more appeal to that. Yes, for this, what Lord Krishna or what Prabhupada writes here, I have 5 more points, supporting points which Prabhupada has mentioned with these different examples. I hope it is clear.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, Joshi, one more question has come. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you make the beautiful points, headlines on books based on paragraph, example, and any other details?
In the notes or in the books? What is, could you please?
It's like how do you make
do you-
the beautiful points or the headlines on the books based on that particular paragraph or that example?
Exactly, correct. See, as a Grihastha, we undergo so many situations in our life, day-to-day life. Okay. Like we are a family person. When we are dealing with the children, we are papa. When we are dealing with a wife, we are husband. Correct. When we are dealing with a office, we are a professional man. We are an employee. Correct. When we are dealing in a temple, we are a devotee. When we are dealing with some other what we can say with our parents, we are like a son. So every time we have to change our cap. Correct? And the dealing with this different personality with seniors, juniors, and everything is different. Correct? Now, when I read from the Bhagavatam some purport, okay, when I read, I have a complete set of thoughts in the back of my mind. You agree? And with these thoughts, I'm reading that shloka, that purport, that theme, like that. So if you see, when we read,
Looks like Prabhuji has again got disconnected. So wait for 2 to 3 minutes. Prabhuji will join again.
Am I audible, Sachin Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Sorry, actually, I don't know some. I'll just repeat the part actually. Was it audible or should I repeat?
Prabhuji, please repeat actually.
Yeah. What I was telling that when we read the purport of Srila Prabhupada and translation, we have a different thoughts in our mind, what we are going to the phase of life. Okay. So actually we can underline certain points which are striking to you for two applications. One is a preaching application, one is a personal application, like that. Yes, this point will help for preaching application, but this point which Prabhupada mentioned over here will help me in my personal application. Okay. Like for example, here I just opened a second canto of Bhagavatam. I'm just reading one line that here the conditioned soul is always engaged in laying out plans for happiness within the material world, even up to the end of universal limit. He is not even satisfied with available amenities on this planet Earth, where he has exploited the resources of nature to the best of ability. He wants to go to the moon or planet Venus or exhibit resources there. But Lord has warned us in Bhagavad Gita about the worthlessness of these planets and universe. So here we understand the pangs and miseries of the material world. Dukkhalema Shashwatam. Prabhupada is elaborating that. And when we understand that, we have to limit our wants, what we have in our life, and we have to focus the need of our life. And when we understand the need of our life, we become more peaceful and satisfied and complacent. But there is a wants are there more and more, then there is no end. But this, when we read this, we have to always think, oh, this is something for me, Prabhupada is telling. Okay, now I am thinking to expand, okay, more and more. Let me restrict myself now for a few days. So this is like a personal application, something like that. Is that clear?
Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji, it was clear. I hope that devotee also might have got his answer.
Okay. Sorry for interruption and inconvenience.
Yes, Prabhuji, he has dropped. Thank you in chat box.
So let me know. Now it's 1 o'clock. Are there any questions, comments, or we can conclude here?
Okay. Anyone would like to ask any question? It will be like last question. Perhaps. Okay.
Last question we can. Fine, I think no questions.
Yeah. Okay. So
Yeah,
I'd
we can
like to
conclude.
thank Prabhuji for having such a nice interacting session. In the beginning, as Prabhuji very nicely mentioned about how we can change our perspective. With that connection, Prabhuji emphasized on what is the importance of book reading, and then he especially appreciated like the wonderful glories of Srila Prabhupada, how as an author, Srila Prabhupada's books are so wonderful, and he very nicely glorified Srila Prabhupada's books. Then he told all of us from his personal example also that how we can have or how we can cultivate this habit of book reading on a daily basis. Also, he highlighted one very important thing in Srila Prabhupada books is about how Prabhupada has emphasized on a character, especially in Srimad Bhagavatam, and how that characters are helping us in our day-to-day life to have that decisions with more maturity. And at last, we had that wonderful question and answer session. So we are very grateful to Prabhuji for his association today. Let's thank Prabhuji by 3 times loudly chanting Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Haribol, Haribol, Haribol.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Prabhuji.
Thank you very much, Sachin Prabhu, for coordinating wonderfully and giving this opportunity to serve the devotees. Thank you very much.
Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna. Thank you, all the devotees. Can I leave, Sachin Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Thank you.